From the Rafters of Rupp is brought to you by Clark's Pump and Shop, Bud's Gun Shop, Hunt Brothers Pizza, Community Trust Bank, Friends of Coal, and by Kentucky Farm Bureau.
Hello everyone, and welcome to From the Rafters of Rupp. I'm Kyle Macy. From the Rafters of Rupp is in its 8th season, featuring the long line of Kentucky basketball legends whose jerseys hang from the hallowed rafters of Rupp Arena, and whose combined efforts have helped build Kentucky basketball into one of the most iconic brands in all of college sports. Over the last couple of years, we've expanded our coverage to include additional Wildcats who, without a doubt, have proven instrumental in the unprecedented, decade-long success of the University of Kentucky basketball program. And if you've missed any of the previous episodes, you can find all of them on our YouTube channel at From the Rafters of Rupp. In this season's first episode, I visit with Wildcat great Derek Anderson. In 1996, Derek, along with teammates Tony Delk, Antoine Walker, and Walter McCarty, led Kentucky to the school's 6th NCAA national title at the Continental Airlines Arena in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Derek Anderson attended Doss High School in Louisville, then signed with Ohio State in the summer of 1992. He transferred to Kentucky after his sophomore season with the Buckeyes. Derek overcame a trying, difficult childhood. His life story is ultimately a tale of resilience, inspiration, and triumph.
My dad had left the year before. I didn't see him for 20 years. I came home to an empty apartment after I made the team. At the end of the year, my 6th grade, I didn't see my mom for years. So I literally grew up in a project housing under other people. Coaches helped me survive. So I was pretty much fending for myself a lot. And at that age, I feel like basketball really grabbed my mental capacity at that young age and said, this is where I'll kind of go when I'm upset or sad. So basketball was kind of a savior for my life.
Derek was literally living without his father or his mother in the home at the age of 12. He somehow managed to provide for his basic needs by learning the importance of hard work at a very young age.
Actually, my first job was 12 years old. I went to Winn-Dixie and carry people's bags. You sit outside and carry people's bags to their car to give you 5, 10 cents. So I was just doing that every day to get $3, like $3 or $4 just to get bread and bologna. And that's what I survived off of. I literally didn't have anything but jobs. And at 14, my girlfriend was 17. She got pregnant. And my son, I was born in '73 and my son was born in '88. So when I turned 15, he was born, and I had to go work a candy truck on Algonquin, and I worked a paper route on weekends.
Derek is the first to acknowledge that when it came to keeping food on the table and a roof over his head, it took a team effort of supportive neighbors and friends of the family. When it came to basketball, however, he credits one specific individual with helping him develop his early on-the-court skills.
Maurice Morris, they called him Killer. He played for Fairdale. He told me to come play basketball, and I was like, I'm just playing for fun. He said, no, you coming to play. Like, he was a big guy. And he said, you're gonna come play because you're good. You play hard, I want somebody to play hard with me. So he introduced me to the game of basketball, and still been my best friend to this day. But he taught me the game of basketball. He taught me how to think, how to play, how to be aggressive. And I made the team as the 6th grade, and that was it. That's how it started.
Derek was quick, skilled, and athletic, and yet when he grew to be 6'3" as a freshman at Doss High School, his game advanced to an elite level. Major colleges began to take notice midway through his sophomore season.
My sophomore year, I got a first letter. We played in the LIT, and Iowa was there, and I was playing. I had like 20 points in the second half. Best game I've ever had so far as a high school player. And I guess the coaches started reaching out, and back then they send you a letter. So Iowa Hawkeyes was the first team to send me a letter and say, hey, we love to watch you play. We love to keep in touch with you, keep playing well, this and that. And I was just like, where's Iowa at? Like, I was like, where's that at? Like, is that close to Louisville? Like, I was like, man. Then they tell me where it's at. I'm like, I'm not going to Iowa.
As a 6'6" senior, Derek was named first team All-State and selected to the Kentucky-Indiana All-Star team at the end of the 1992 high school basketball season. Derek certainly had his choice of some of the most respected programs in all of college basketball. When his decision was finally made, it definitely came as a surprise to many in the Commonwealth.
And my senior year, I'd never heard from Ohio State. And my senior year, Dad came to watch me play in a tournament, and I had like a crazy triple double, like 36, like I think it was like 12 blocks, and like something crazy like 10 assists. And the coach came by, I was like, well, "Where you been at?" He came up to me, and I'm like, "Well, who are you?" like I don't know. He had his, and he was like, "Oh, I'm with Ohio State," and his name Dave Sakuti, and he was like, "Well, man, you had a great game, man, and this and that." And come to find out, they were actually recruiting another kid. And he saw me, and he was like, "Man, we'd rather offer you right now. We want you to come." And so they just kept recruiting. They kept driving down and coming to see me play. Like, they were there all the time. So they became one of the favorites because they was always coming to support my games.
By the end of his freshman year at Ohio State, Derek had earned a starting position and was averaging just over 10 points per contest. Midway through his sophomore season, Derek was leading the team in scoring, averaging just under 16 points per game, until a torn ACL ended his season with the Buckeyes. As word spread that Ohio State was facing NCAA penalties and possibly sanctions for the following year, Derek decided it was better for his playing future to transfer.
They literally had everybody call me trying to, like, I had a bunch of voicemails. I didn't have a cell phone, so they had a bunch of voicemails in my dorm room. And they were like, "Hey man, we got to talk, we want you to don't leave," and this and that. So, but I don't know how it worked back then, it was so long ago, but I transferred, signed my papers, and literally within a week, I was on UK's campus.
We'll be right back with more of my conversation with Derek Anderson after these words from our sponsors.
We all love being outside, but sometimes nature does not want to cooperate. That's where Bud's Gun Shop and Range comes in. Practice your shot in our indoor, temperature-controlled shooting range, or work with one of our experts to choose the right firearm for your next outdoor experience. Bud's Gun Shop and Range. Find it here.
Hunt Brothers Pizza has been proudly serving communities across America for over 30 years. Download the Hunt Brothers Pizza app to find one of our 8,000 locations inside a convenience store near you. Choose from Hunt Brothers Pizza's original crust or thin crust, then customize your pizza with any of our 10 toppings to choose from at no extra charge. With that many options, there's sure to be a topping combination for everyone to enjoy a Hunt Brothers Pizza. Call ahead and order yours today.
Today's Wildcat Memory is brought to you by Rafters. Gather, eat, drink.
He calls timeout. He never sat down. He stood up because he was old. So we're all gathered around, and Issel's behind him, and guys, and Casey and I were kind of over here in this part of the huddle, you know, and he's talking. And he looked at Casey and I, he said, "You boys know who this boy is?" Points like this to Issel. We're all going, "Uh-oh, we got some problems here." And he says, "His name is Dan Issel. Please pass him the ball." And he's looking right at Casey and I, you know. So we break the huddle and go out. Iss comes by and pats me on the butt, nods, you know, like that. So we went down and passed him the ball quite a few times. Then we went back to shooting.
After transferring from Ohio State in the summer of 1994, Derek Anderson spent the first few months at Kentucky recovering from his knee injury. Once healthy, Derek benefited from daily practices against a talent-laden Kentucky squad that included Tony Delk, Roderick Rose, Jeff Shepard, and Walter McCarty. The year of transfer ineligibility also allowed Derek to develop a unique relationship with Coach Rick Pitino.
He was one of those guys where he told you to take the trash out. I did it. Because I grew up with discipline because I had to. Like, I had to take care of my son. So it wasn't like, well, I'm not going to go work today because I can't, I'm going to take a day off. Well, I knew in my life that I had to work every single day. So when Coach said, hey, D, I need you to do this, I immediately did it. I understood him. And he was always praising me because I did what he asked me to do. It wasn't like I was that much better than everybody. I just did what was required. And me and his relationship, like we just built something really strong because I was one of his, kind of like his captains on the floor. So me and his relationship was really strong.
Now, I've talked with enough players at Kentucky to know that every Rick Pitino practice was memorable in some way. Derek talks about the physical demand of a Rick Pitino practice, and yet he realizes now the coach's demands in practice paid off on game day.
Oh, Pitino practice. That was like playing 3 games in one day. Like, your body would hurt, and he'd have you running. And here's the thing, our warm-up was one-on-one. So by the time we got to the press, we were like, dude, like what's going on? But practices were very tough. And it was a good thing because in a game, we never got mentally fatigued. But in practice, guys would be grabbing each other's jerseys because we're tired. You foul hard when you're tired. We couldn't think straight. But you get in the game, you're like, man, I ain't even tired. Derek figured out the Pitino system early and became a starter for the 1995-96 Wildcat squad from day one. You could ask everyone, they used to kill me, like, man, Coach's pet, man, he'll never run. But I would always take charges and get rebounds and steals. And those were saves, remember they called bricks and saves? And them dudes was just turning it over. I said, no, I ain't turning it over. The 1995-96 college basketball season opened with the usual high expectations and a preseason #1 ranking for the Kentucky squad. A 92-82 early season loss, however, to a John Calipari coached UMass team put the early season hype on hold and forced the Wildcats to refocus on their overall season goals. We had to actually have a meeting after we lost to UMass. What's our roles? And Anthony Epps was a key factor in that. He said, hey, I'm going to get you guys the ball. Don't y'all worry about it. I'll lead y'all. I'll get y'all where y'all need the ball. When he said that, Antoine said, okay, well, this is what I want. This is what I want. Tony said, I'm a senior. I need to get my shots. Walter said, I'm going to hit the glass. Like, we all defined our roles, and we knew that. But guess what? We were all older. You know what I mean? Walter was a senior, Tony was a senior, Mark Pope was a senior, I was a junior, Ray Amps was a junior. We all understood our role. If I would have came as a freshman, you told me, because Ron Mercer and Wayne Turner struggled, because they were freshmen. But we didn't need them to do anything. We just need to play hard. Like, we didn't need you to score 30 right now. And because we had those pieces is the reason why we were able to make a run that nobody's seen before like that. We'll be right back with more of my conversation with Derek Anderson after these words from our sponsors.
Hello, young man. Do you clean chimney stains?
What can I get for you?
I'll have 2 fried chicken dinners with extra mashed potatoes and gravy. Oh, and 9 carrots to go. On Dasher! On Dancer! Ho, ho, ho!
However you get ready for the holiday season, please have a happy one. Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance. Big on commitment.
So, keeping the beard?
Here in the Commonwealth of Kentucky, we are blessed. We have opportunities some can only dream about. The ability to create and grow jobs and provide opportunities for upward mobility. A place that fosters innovation and excellence made possible by affordable and reliable energy. Energy that fuels our economy, provides better opportunities, and increases the quality of life for our neighbors. Fueling Kentucky, fueling America, fueling growth. Friends of Coal.
After the loss to UMass, the 95-96 Wildcats reeled off an impressive 27-game win streak, which included a perfect 16-0 regular season mark in SEC play. Kentucky was destroying opponents, winning games by 20, 30, and 40-point scoring margins. The Cats scored 118 points against Marshall, 120 at Vanderbilt, rang up 124 against Texas Christian, and 129 against Dale Brown's LSU squad.
If you look at the scores, our best games were on the road. That Tennessee game was 90-50, was at Tennessee. You looked at LSU game, it was at LSU. We won by that many points. And again, we had 86 points in 20 minutes. I don't think people realize the magnitude of what we did at that time, because when you looked up and it was 86 points in 20 minutes, you're trying to do the math like 20 carried to 2 plus 4. It's like, well, man, how'd they score so many points in only 20 minutes? Yeah. And they didn't realize that we were pressing and passing the ball. The ball was literally not hitting the floor, and it was a away game. So we lived off the grid when we were on the road, and that pushed us to be really strong guys.
As SEC tournament time rolled around, the Cats had regained the #1 ranking, yet suffered just their second loss of the season in the finals of the SEC tournament. Some viewed the 84-73 loss to highly ranked Mississippi State as possibly a motivating factor entering NCAA tournament play. Derek Anderson didn't view the loss in that manner.
I'm different because, I came from high school, like middle school and high school, and I've always said every game matters. So I don't like to lose. And people say that loss refocused us. It didn't refocus us. I think it just kind of like, if anything, it pissed us off. So to me, I hate losing. I don't think it helped us. But it could have refocused a lot of other things. It definitely put a fear in us that somebody can beat us if we don't play.
Kentucky ran through the first rounds of the NCAA tournament, defeating San Jose State and Virginia Tech in lopsided wins. Then in the Midwest Regional semifinals, Kentucky hammered Utah 101-70. In the Midwest Regional Final, Kentucky outmanned Tim Duncan and Wake Forest 83-63 to advance to the Final Four and set up a rematch with the #1 ranked UMass Minutemen.
That was anger. Everybody on our team was ready. Like we were hoping Mississippi State won. We were hoping they beat Syracuse. That's all we was thinking. Let's get both of these teams. Like we were all just ready to go play those guys. And I think it took us to a point to slow down because the UMass game, we were missing easy shots. We were a little nervous. We were so aggressive on defense. I think the foul count was ridiculous on us, but we definitely had a mindset of revenge. I don't know if we were supposed to, but everybody on the team was like, we gotta beat these dudes. Like that was our championship game to us. Like, let's beat these dudes and tell them, you're not better than us.
In the championship game, Derek, Tony Delk, Antoine Walker, and Ron Mercer all scored in double figures as Kentucky defeated Syracuse 76-67 to win the school's 6th NCAA championship.
Man, it was a relief. And I didn't want the storybook to end. Like I was hoping there was more games to play. Cause I was like, man, this team we got is a great team. Like I wish we could play like UNLV. I wish we could go play UCLA. Like I just wanted to keep going. Like that team we had was special, man. And I was just so excited. I'm like, man, I didn't want this to end. I was happy we won, but I'm such a basketball guy. I wasn't thinking of the championship. I was thinking of the moment. And I just wanted to keep going. Like if we had another game, I would have been like, yes, we keep playing. We played another team. So my excitement was just the joy of playing with my teammates. Yeah. That was a different mindset for me. I just wanted that team to keep playing, man. We were special.
We'll be right back with more of my conversation with Derek Anderson after these words from our sponsors.
It's a place you know. It's people you trust. It's welcoming, like a friend. It's a place of volunteers. A place of givers, movers, and shakers. Friday night lights and Saturday yard sales. It's the original social network. It's your community, and we're proud to be a part of it. Community Trust Bank. Building communities built on trust.
Whether you're cheering on the Cats
or your favorite high school team,
there's nothing like basketball time in the Bluegrass. It's a Kentucky tradition.
And so is Clark's Pump and Shop.
There's no better place than Clark's
to get you game day ready.
Whether you're heading out or staying home, Clark's has a huge selection of snacks, drinks, and an incredible combination of fresh food. Now that's a lineup that can't be beat.
Clark's Pump and Shop. Return.
Refresh.
Refuel.
Coming off the national championship season in 1996, the Cats were ranked third in the preseason polls. Coach Pitino honored seniors Derek Anderson, Anthony Epps, and Jared Prickett as team captains. Derek recalls the Cats' mindset as the team prepared for the 1996-97 campaign.
We had talent all over, but our mindset was like, let's do it again. Everybody said it. Everybody said, let's do it again. Like, we got the same guys, we got the same mindset, let's do it again. And I knew I was going to shoot more because I was a senior now. And I was like, okay, this is my time to lead my teammates, and I was going to do that. But everybody had the same mindset. Just go play to win and go to a championship. We were focused on championships at that point.
Derek Anderson was enjoying a remarkable senior season. Derek was leading the Cats in scoring with a 19-point-per-game average and hit the 30-point mark twice during the season. Kentucky was 16-2 overall and ranked third in the country when the team traveled to Alabama to play Auburn on January 18th.
Chasing the ball down, right where the counter was, I turned, dove to take to tip the ball in from a steal, and I felt it. I didn't pop, I just felt it. And then I went to the hallway and came back, and I drove baseline to dunk the ball and went into dunk and could barely get there. And I was like, oh, and I laid it in. I got an and one. And everybody's like, why aren't you dunking? I was like, I don't know, something's not right.
For the second time in his career, Derek had torn his ACL. This time, it was the opposite knee from his previous injury. He worked tirelessly to recover and strengthen his injured knee. Remarkably, he managed to participate in some late-season practices as Kentucky made its annual run through the NCAA tournament. Derek recalls his attempt to lobby Coach Pitino for some tournament playing time.
I felt like I could help my teammates out. And I'm not a controversy. I'm not going to argue with my coach. I'm never going to disrespect the coach. I didn't say anything. I just kept walking past, you know, trying to step on him, bump into him, like let him know I was here. But it was just one of those. It was to this day, it's still the hardest thing I've had to deal with.
The Cats made another incredible run in the 1997 NCAA tournament that ended with a championship game loss to Arizona in overtime. Much of the Big Blue Nation, including myself, feels certain with Derek Anderson on the floor, Kentucky would have claimed the 1997 NCAA National Championship. After his senior season, Derek was selected 13th overall in the 1997 NBA draft by the Cleveland Cavaliers. Yet it was with the Miami Heat in 2006 that Derek won the coveted NBA championship.
It was incredible, man, because we all played our role. Here's who came off the bench. Gary Payton, me, Antoine Walker, and Alonzo Mourning came off the bench. So we've been playing and starting our entire careers of our entire lives, and we all accepted the bench role. Jason Williams started, Dwayne Wade, Posey, Udonis, and Shaq started. So when you think about it, when I got there, they had just got through a big old meeting about we got to do better, and I came in and they was like, hey, this is what we're about to do. So we had a big meeting, and the guys said, we're going to play our roles. We're not worrying about who's starting, we're not worrying about anything. And the first day I get there, I hit a game-time jump shot. Coach gave me the ball. Just said go one-on-one because Dwayne was hurt. Shaq had just fouled out. He gave me the ball. I shot a fadeaway and got a game time. It was 5 seconds on the clock. We get the ball back, no, it was like 10 seconds on the clock. They try to get down there and shoot a quick shot, and we come back down, and I get an offensive rebound and kick it to Lonzo Mourning, we win the game. That was the first time I played for Pat Riley. He's like, you need to be my point guard.
After spending 11 seasons in the NBA, Derek retired from basketball and turned his attention to fostering his passion for helping disadvantaged kids. The first program he organized and supported provided basketball shoes for kids who struggled to afford proper footwear.
It was started from me not having shoes. I wore other people's shoes growing up, and I said, I want to help the next Derek Anderson. Because I just needed some basketball shoes to play, and it kept me from doing something else. You know, where I didn't have to go steal or anything like that. I just like worked and earned my money, and people helped me out and got shoes to play basketball. So I would always give kids who are working hard, doing well, so being a good person, not just going to school. You can go to school and be a jerk, but if you're a good kid and got good morals, I always gave kids those opportunities. Get free clothes from Jordan, free shoes. Even I started giving some of the parents some free stuff so they felt comfortable. I just always did it. I still do it to this day. If you do an act of kindness and you do something nice, I'll reward you with an act of kindness.
Currently, Derek works with NBA players as a mental health counselor, helping prepare them for life outside of basketball. He's written and published the book Stamina, which chronicles his life story. A true inspiration, Derek has always remembered where he came from and gives credit to the Big Blue Nation for playing an integral part in his life's success.
I think the fans were always good to me. They still are good to me. So I just think our relationship with Kentucky and me, we're just like a big family together. Like regardless of what happens, it's always love between us. So I don't have to worry about being Hall of Fame or not winning a championship in '97. It's just a good relationship. A lot of guys don't have relationships with their former schools, and I think we have a good relationship. So when I die, people say, oh, man, he was a great guy, and I love watching him play. End the story. Yep. I'm good.
In his junior season at UK, Derek Anderson was the defensive stopper and averaged nearly 10 points per game on a Kentucky team that claimed its 6th NCAA national championship. He posted team-leading scoring numbers in 1997 before a torn ACL cut short his senior year. While at UK, Derek was named to the All-NCAA regional team, to the All-SEC team, and in 2019 selected to the State of Kentucky Athletic Hall of Fame. Derek spent 11 seasons in the NBA and won a championship with the Miami Heat in 2006. He's always prided himself in giving back to the basketball community and continues to this day to reach out and help needy youth by promoting and providing materials needed for a better life. Derek Anderson remains a loyal supporter of the Kentucky program, and the Big Blue Nation remains a true supporter of Derek Anderson. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Until next time, when we hear more tales from the Rafters of Rupp.
From the Rafters of Rupp was brought to you by Clark's Pump and Shop, Bud's Gun Shop, Hunt Brothers Pizza, Community Trust Bank, Friends of Coal, and by Kentucky Farm Bureau.